Welcome to Toyota Time with Timmy the Toolman and Sean. We have a returning special guest, my buddy Alex. And what we're going to do for Alex today is we're going to do a hood strut mod on his first gen Tacoma. Our buddy Leon, who owns Spiker Engineering, now makes hood struts for first gen Tacomas and second gen Tacomas. So let's start by showing you what comes with this kit. Okay, first of all, Leon packages it very nicely with a cardboard sleeve so no damage is gonna come to the kit. You have your two gas struts, you have the brackets that you need and the rivets to rivet it to the body. So you have these two brackets and then you have these two brackets. It comes with a very nice detailed set of instructions, so you pretty much can't mess this up unless you don't know how to read English or interpret English. The tools we're gonna use for this job is we're gonna use a drill. This happens to be a cordless one. We're gonna need one drill bit for this, and the drill bit size is 13/64. We're gonna need a rivet gun with a tip that's meant for 3/16 rivets. We're gonna use a center punch so we can drill nice straight holes. I have a file here just in case we need to remove some burrs on the outside of the holes we drill. We might have to remove some sealant from one of the areas that we need to put a bracket, so we're going to use this utility blade to cut off the excess sealant. We're going to have some black electrical tape to wrap around the drill bit so we can't accidentally drill too far and make a hole in our hood. We're going to have a Sharpie to mark the holes that we're going to drill, and then we're going to have to relocate the windshield washer hose, and we're going to utilize a couple zip ties to do that. We're also going to use an adjustable painter's rod to get the hood at the height we want before we drill the holes. So the first step that Leon describes is you want to make sure you have room for your struts. So this is the driver's side fender, and the strut is going to be connecting with a bracket that we're going to fix right here, and it's going to be running along here. So it looks like there's room on this side of the engine bay for the strut. Let's look at the passenger side. On the passenger side, the only thing that I could see that's going to get in our way is this windshield washer clip that clips onto the passenger side of the engine bay. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to disconnect this clip, and then we're going to find a place to zip tie it. Maybe to here, maybe back here. We'll figure that out when the time comes. Other than that, it looks like this area is clear for the gas strut also. Our next step is we're going to set the height that we want the hood to be lifted every time we open the hood. This is the beauty of this modification. We get to have the hood open much further than you can get it open with the original prop rod, so you have more room to work on the engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the prop rod out of my way first, and I'm just going to put it in its little keeper. Next, I'm going to get my adjustable painter's rod, and the bottom part where I'm going to secure this is in the grill right here. You want to get a central point on the grill, and then I'm just going to set this here right now. This hood will open up pretty far. You don't want to max it out to where it's putting a lot of pressure on the hinge. So what you're looking for is a height a little bit less than the max, but to where you prefer it. I'm going to set this up to where Alex has it almost at the max setting. This painter's rod, you have to twist it to loosen it up to where you can extend it. Now that it's loose, I can bring it out to where I want. That's max travel right there, and I'm going to bring it down just a little bit, twist it, and you lock it in place. Double check that. That's max, and this is where we're going to put it. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't really want to go any further than that. So now that this is set, we're going to work on the next step. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to unclip this window washer connection to the passenger side fender. I'm just getting in here with a regular flat blade screwdriver, and I'm going to pry this out. You're going to mess up this clip, most likely, but it's not a big deal because you really don't need this clip anymore because your gas strut is going to be here. So we'll just let that dangle right here for now. This is the area where we're going to be putting the bracket, and there's extra sealant right here. You want to be able to get this bracket pushed back as far as it will go to where you can get the rivets in a good spot. So I'm going to grab my utility blade and I'm going to scrape away some of this extra sealant. It's kind of hard to see because it's the same color as the body paint, but there is some goop right here that I need to scrape off. So I have my utility blade and I'm just going to scrape this stuff off. For this part of the job, you could use a putty scraper, something of that sort. Just whatever you can to scrape off this excess sealant. All right, you get the idea. I'm going to keep on scraping away here. I scraped away the excess sealant. Now I'm going to get a better purchase for this. You'll see that it has a little cutout section, and then this part of the body here has a little cutout. So it looks like Leon made it that way to follow that contour. You get it up against the body really firm, and then you grab your Sharpie and you mark your holes. I'm going to come in center and mark it, mark the middle one, mark the back one. Just double check, make sure they're centered really good. Okay, we have our 3 holes marked. Now that I have the holes marked, I'm going to use a spring-loaded center punch so I'll have an easier time drilling straight with the drill bit. So these type of center punches are kind of nice. You don't have to hit it with the hammer. The spring loading mechanism makes the indent for you. So you line it up in the center and then you push down and it snaps. It makes a nice little indentation for you to get your drill bit in there straight. I'm going to do the next one same way, and then I'm going to do the back one. I have my Milwaukee cordless drill and I have the 13/64 drill bit. You could decide to drill a small little pilot hole first. I actually tried that, but the metal is pretty thick here, and I think I'm going to be here all day with that little drill bit because the drill bits I have are a little bit worn out. So I'm going to try to go straight to the 13/64 drill bit and see how that goes. It is smart to have some type of eye protection so you don't get any metal bits in your eyes. So protect your eyes when drilling through the body. Okay, there's one hole drilled. And then we'll do the back one. All right, we have our 3 holes drilled. Once you're done drilling your holes, brush it off with something, a rag or a little brush, so you can analyze the holes you drilled. Grab one of your rivets and test fit and make sure it fits in to each hole. And they all do. Sometimes when you're drilling, you'll have a little burr at the edge of the hole, and you might just need to run the drill in there another time, or you take a file and you just file that little burr off, so then you can get a nice flush fit with your rivet. So we're good to go. So now we're ready to rivet that bracket that we just drilled the holes for to the body. I have my Rivet Gun. This one's made by Astro Pneumatic, and it's got different tips you can put on it. There's a couple tips on this arm and a couple tips on this arm. The size tip that Leon says to use is a 3/16 and a 4.8 millimeter is the equivalent. So I have the right tip on. I'm gonna put my bracket in place, and I'm gonna get one of the rivets started right here, and then I'm gonna get 2 more in place. You open up the jaws, and then you slide it over one of the rivets you want to rivet. You push the tip of the tool right up against the base of the rivet. I'm going to keep pressure against there. I'm going to go up 1, up 2, up 3. And then you'll see that the edge of the rivet is right here, but when you open it up, it will drop right into this little tray. Kind of a cool little thing that this tool offers. Now it's down in here. And now we're going to do the same with the other 2. You got to make sure you have enough room to rivet. So it looks like that back one might be a little bit problematic. 1, 2, 3, up. And now we got to get the back one. It looks like I can go at this angle. I think it'll work. 1, 2, 3. And there it is. Okay. We've got this one riveted securely to the body, and now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. We now have both brackets riveted to the back of the fenders on both sides near the firewall. And now we're gonna grab one of our gas struts and we're gonna pop this one into the ball on the passenger side. This has a little clip right here, and as you push the ball in, it will expand and allow the ball to seat. You could kind of see maybe in there the two little ends of the spring. I'm just gonna push this on and it should pop in, just like so. Now I'm gonna grab one of my other brackets, and this bracket is the one that's gonna attach the strut to the hood. So you just wanna snap it in, rotate this up, and Leon shows to get it in this fashion. This flat edge faces you, and you put it up there and you get your Sharpie and you mark your holes. So I'm gonna mark this one. I've got the upper hole marked, but you can see that it's hard to get in here with your Sharpie to mark the bottom hole with the gas strut in your way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the bracket from the strut and then put the bracket back up here so I can mark the second hole. So with this spring, there's a little spot where you can get a flat blade screwdriver in here. I'm gonna get it in and I'm gonna twist enough to where I could pop this hinge out. Just like that. Now I'm gonna put this back up here and mark the second hole. Okay, I have Sharpie marks for my two holes I need to drill. Now I'm gonna center punch them. I've got my spring-loaded center punch, line it up, and then I'm gonna do the other one. Okay, now I'm just gonna grab the same 13/64 drill bit and I'm gonna drill these holes. The directions say, as a precaution to lessen the chance that you're gonna take this drill bit and push it right through your hood, which would be a bad thing, he suggests wrapping the drill bit a 1/4 inch down from the tip with some black electrical tape. So I'm just gonna eyeball a 1/4 inch. I might not be the best judge of lengths because I think this is 10 inches. So I'm gonna wrap this with quite a few wraps and then break it off, and then now I have that set. So now I'm gonna drill the two holes for the hood bracket. There is a couple burrs here that are left over from drilling, so I'm gonna take my file and see if I can knock them off. I just want to be able to knock that burr off so the hinge sits flat. In the instructions, Leon does suggest putting some painter's tape here before you drill to protect the paint. I decided to forego that step because I knew this is the underside of the hood, and the fact that I scraped this up, filing off some rough edges of the holes with my file, Alex wasn't gonna lose his mind about that. Now I'm gonna test fit the bracket with the rivets, make sure it fits okay. And they do. Now I'm gonna get my rivet gun out and rivet this bracket to the hood. And there it is there. Now that we have the other bracket in place on the hood, you rotate this up and you just push it in place. Just like that. Now we're just gonna do the same with the other side, get this upper bracket in place on the hood. All right, we got the strut affixed to the driver's side of the hood. Now we have to zip tie that window washer hose out of the way. So it looks like if we zip tie it right to this electrical connector, this will be a nice spot for it. So I'm just gonna wrap the zip tie around, just like that. I'm gonna snip off the excess. Now I'm gonna see when I close this how it's gonna look. Looks like it's gonna be out of the way and it's not gonna get crimped or hurt as we open and close it. So that looks like it's gonna work out fine. All right, so here's the magic. You need to lift your hood for something. You're at the gas station, you wanna check your oil. You pop your hood, you release the little lock lever, which on this Tacoma happens to be right here. And here's where the magic happens of this hood strut mod that Leon made for us. You lift up a little bit, And look, Ma, no hands. Alex, check out your new cool hood strut lift mod. What do you think?
Open sesame.
You like it?
I like it. Very
All
smooth.
right. Another satisfied customer of Spiker Engineering. You'll get hours of entertainment just opening and closing your hood. All right, we're all done with this job. As you saw, not really hard to do. You just got to drill a few holes on each side of your engine compartment near the fender at the firewall. You got to drill a couple holes on each side of your hood. You pop rivet the brackets into the hood and into the engine compartment. You get the struts on, and then you get to enjoy all the magic you just created by now having gas struts lifting up your hood for you. Woohoo! Yeah! So you can be like Alex and the rest of the kiddies that have this cool modification. In the video description, there will be a link to Spiker Engineering, and you can get yourself a hood strut lift kit too. With all that said, we thank you for watching Toyota Time with Timmy the Toolman and Sean and special guest Alex. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you have any questions or comments, do that below. Take care. Bye-bye. Sick mods and sick do-it-yourself wrenching, people. Peace out. Bye-bye.